So you're tired of the diaspora and you want to come back to Zimbabwe. You have reached the age of retirement in the diaspora and you want to come back home, or you are just tired. You've just had it up to here about the working hours in the diaspora and you want to come back home, and one of the business ventures or the projects you're being advised to do is chicken production, broiler rearing, broiler production, whatever you call it. This video is for you guys. Broiler production is no kids game. You need a good amount of money. The capital outlay is a little bit up there for the average earner. This video, I'm going to talk about someone who wants to start at a smaller scale, 5,000 birds. And I'm not going to talk about anything less than 5,000 because broiler production is all about the numbers. It's a numbers game, nothing less and nothing more. The more numbers you have, the more meaningful it becomes in terms of your profit making. Let's get into it. So the first port of call is the cost of buying the chicks, the day-old chicks. Guys, it's 75 cents per chick or per bird times 5,000. Very rarely will you get anything below 75. I mean, you can get 60 cents, 65 cents, but this is like really stretching it, guys. The reputable suppliers will supply you at 75 cents per bird. So 75 cents times 5,000. How much is that? You do the math. That's something like 3,750, somewhere there, right? Now that's the cost of purchasing the day-old chicks, 5,000 of them. Now we want to move into the biggest overhead, which will be your feed. Trust me, this one chine magowa pasi, chikafu chehuku chinodambura achidhure, chinosakadza homwe yako. You will suffer walletically in ways you couldn't have imagined. Guys, the cost of feeding a bird from date of placement as a day-old chick to date you will release that bird into the market, you will need nothing less than $3.60 per bird. And I'm being modest with my numbers, okay? $3.60 per bird. Now times 5,000, and you would have fed them, or you want to feed them from start to finish at $3.60 a bird. How much is that in feed? Tell me. That's 18 bands, 18,000 guys, 18,000 United States dollars. 18K my Biden, okay? This is just feed. So let's take now, we have two figures, the 18K for the feed, the 3,700 for the to purchase the beds. Let's just say, how much do we have now? 21,750. Keep this number in your mind, 21,750 equals, okay? This is a whole core house, and we haven't even talked about all the other factors that go into the production: your labor, electricity, fuel costs, water, cost of renting the premises, because half the time people don't even have land to do these large scale projects, so they're going to rent. I haven't even factored all that. Oh, I also haven't input call, guys, when you're doing the brooding stage. I haven't even told you about the cost of labor. What about the cost of bedding? You see where we're going? So in a nutshell, walletically, you will need to have 25 bands, no cap. You will need 25,000, guys. This is like you give yourself a good buffer. And the buffer is not even that huge, right? But let's just say you need 25,000, all things being equal. Now the average cost of bedding would be around $200. The average cost of coal will be, if it's winter, around 800. If it's not winter, maybe in summer it's slightly less. Let's just go with 600 for now. I mean, it really varies. It depends where you are, which region. If you're in the cooler regions, it's obviously more. If you are in the hotter regions, it's obviously less. But nonetheless, those are the figures you need to think about. Let's go over that again. How much is it to buy those 5,000 chicks? 3,350. How much is it to feed those 5,000 birds or 4,000 birds? We arrived at 18K, okay? And then you need bedding, $200 average. You need your brooding, you need coal for brooding, which is around $600 to $800 depending on which region you are in the country. And then labor, Now this one is quite controversial because some people will pay ridiculously low wages, but I'll go with 120 per month per person. And trust me, you will need at least 2 people, because one person is not enough to take care of 5,000 birds, because remember, they have to stay up during the night to wake those birds up to eat, because if they don't eat, then that's a loss for you. So one person, they have to interchange, so one person is not a good idea. Now, do you get the gist of this? Do you get where we're going? Now, this is a prohibitive cost for people that are in Zimbabwe, because even in the diaspora, where does one get 25,000 that will just be laying around? Where does one get 25,000 just to say, let me risk this 25,000 that I've worked for so long and risk it for 5 weeks? Because production time for broilers is 5 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks is really stretching it. The moment you hit 6 weeks, you're already going into your negative, because those birds will be eating, and feed is the biggest overhead. It's so expensive, guys, and this is why big companies are pricing the small producers, because the cost of feed is just crazy. But that is a topic we'll get to another time. So now you have not only the courage to start the project, you actually do have the money. Guys, you need to be extra careful where you source your chicks. This can make or break you. There is no shortcuts, guys. There is no, oh, I know someone who knows someone. Don't. Just go straight to Profits. It's simple like that. Go to Profits, get your chicks there. I've not been paid by Profits, but I'm telling you from my own experience. Don't buy Mumukot. Just buy more Profits. You won't go wrong. If things go south, at least they have a team of vets that will come in and look at you. If your mortality is crazy high, they actually have an after sales team that will come and assist you, especially if you're buying those kind of numbers. Trust me, they want to keep their customers. They will give you good after sales service. I've been there. Now imagine someone comes to you and says, oh, I know someone who can give you these chicks for 60 cents. You want to save that 10 to 15 cents? Don't do it. Don't do it. Go to reputable suppliers. You can't risk 25,000 or 20,000. Guys, go to reputable suppliers for your day-old chicks. Don't try any shenanigans like, oh, I want to save at least 10 cents per bed, that's profit. You are headed in the wrong direction. Don't try that. And now you want to risk your money like that, you will cry. Okay, so let's get back to the gist of the story. So now you have the cost of the chicks, the cost of the feed, and other related costs. Now you want to go to the market and you're wondering, how much money am I gonna get? I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you today, give yourself 30 cents net profit per bed. 30 cents net profit per bed, so that you manage your expectations. Okay, 30 cents per bed net profit. And I'd like to believe you know the difference between gross profit and net profit. Here I am talking about net profit. Okay, 30 cents per bed net profit is not that bad at all, but this is your worst case scenario. Your better case scenario is 40, 50, 60 cents. Oh my god, that would be like a windfall for you. So let's go over the figures again. 30 cents a bed, this is like your worst case scenario. This is like you've just gotten into the market at a really bad time. For example, in December, I wouldn't advise doing chickens in December if you're a newbie and you really don't have the market, because you will see fire. I'm telling you. Let's just say you've managed to get 30 cents per bed. You're looking at a profit of 1,350 in 5 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks, guys, you should make sure that by the 6th week you do not have any chickens you're still selling. Preferably at 5 weeks. That's when you begin. If you've done things right, at 5 weeks you should be able to go to the market. So let's just say in 5 weeks you get 1,350. That's not so bad, guys. However, you hear how ridiculous that net profit is against the risk of 25,000. That's because it is, and this is why broilers are a numbers game. But now let's switch things up a little bit. Let's imagine you've got 10,000 beds. The average people that I know trade at least 30,000 beds per cycle. 20,000 beds, 30,000 beds. You need at least 10,000 beds. But since you're starting, let's stick to 5,000. Now, this is at 30 cents. you get that 1,350. At 40 cents, 50 cents, it's now 2,250, and at 60 cents, it's 2,700. So it is imperative that you know when to go to the market, how to cycle your beds, because this will end you. Because you can't risk 24,000 to get 1,000 something. But I guess something is better than nothing. But trust me, once you master the art of placement in terms of dates and the cycle of going to the market, you will make the most out of it. You will never run out of a market, guys. I always talk about this. Evans in itself cannot supply Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean farmers right now cannot supply our own local market. It may seem like a joke or whatever, because people look at Harare and then they want to measure a person who's doing 100 beds and then they'll be like, how for a reason. And I don't want to talk about those reasons today. I want to talk about people that want to go into mass production. The market is there. It's an evergreen market. People are always eating chicken and pork. Those are the cheapest meats in Zimbabwe. Those are the cheapest meats in Zimbabwe. Please don't even be deterred and be told, oh, you won't find the market. So we have to get mad because Zimbabwe. In this chaos, wealth is definitely exchanging hands.